Subscribe.
Relationships, they could be amazing experiences, and they could be what we experience as very traumatic or negative experiences. But what if there was a way to turn relationships, especially the hard ones, into something that we learn the most from? And what if the people in our lives that we dislike the most because of our relationships with them, those people could actually turn into our greatest teachers, giving us an enormous amount of gifts? My name is Jason Shurka, and this is episode 5 of Inspired, all about relationships. Welcome back to Inspired. Today we are speaking all about the topic of relationships. Now, as I said, there are hard relationships and there are easy relationships. But the ones that we can learn the most from are the ones that are most difficult for us. So I want you to think in your mind for a second. Who do you have a tough relationship with? Is it your father? Is it your mother? Is it your spouse? Is it your son? Is it your daughter? Is it your brother, your sister, your boss, your colleague, your employee, whoever it may be? And look deeper into that relationship for just a moment. I'm going to repeat the phrase that I've said in every single episode thus far. If all is one and everything is connected to Source, Source will never do anything to hurt itself. How can we apply that to our experience of what we experience as negative relationships? And the way to do that is very simple. To understand that the people in our lives that are our greatest hardships, as I said earlier, are our greatest teachers. So I want to bring in a phrase, actually a phrase in Hebrew that I'm going to translate and then speak more about on that topic. And that phrase is called Tikkun, T-I-K-K-U-N. The word Tikkun in Hebrew pretty much means rectification in English. Most of us call that karma. And it's not a bad thing. A lot of people say, well, karma is this really hard thing, this cycle that you accrue. And that's one way of looking at it. But karma is the cycle that you enter to in order to continue your process of evolution, in order to continue embodying the reason of why you came here in the first place. Specifically when it comes to the Hebrew language and Judaism, most people, when they hear the word tikkun, or rectification, they think of something negative. Your father and your negative relationship with your father could be your tikkun. Your negative experience growing up, whatever it may be. It could have been sexual assault. It could have been hardship in school. It could have been hardships with love and hardships with relationships with women or men, whatever that may be. All those hardships, all those obstacles are referred to as a tikkun, something that you came here to rectify. Now, most people look at that and say, it's something that we came here to fix because something was broken. And no, it's the exact opposite. It's the very opportunity and the gift that you were given to continue moving forward. And I'm going to give you a crazy example to understand that in terms of relationships specifically. We're going to bring in reincarnation to understand this specific example. Let's say that in a past life, you were somebody's father. And you as a father didn't give that individual the proper love, didn't treat your son or your daughter the right way. Well, the way to rectify that would be to have that tikkun, that rectification, that karma. And that comes through the exact opposite experience, switching roles. So now your son may turn into your father, and you may turn into the son of who was your son in the past. And you may come into this life choosing on the level of divine will, that term that we've brought up multiple times. Your divine will choose certain circumstances in your life. Choose a hard relationship with your father. Choose a father that doesn't give you X, Y, or Z as you expected, but not to hurt you, to bring out that motivation, to bring out that rectification, to keep moving forward, to rectify what you experienced in the past by experiencing the exact opposite side of that experience. So when we look at our lives today, in our external circumstances, number one, we must remember, especially when it comes to our relationships, that we are not a victim to them. We are a creator of it. We've chosen these circumstances. Our soul has asked for these circumstances to give us the very motivation to choose to do something different in this life. And that's where our free will comes in. We have a choice. Do we choose to see these relationships as something that's here to bring us down, to hate the people that we have hardships with? Or do we choose to reshape and rephrase that perspective and say, those people, my father, my mother, my son, my daughter, my brother, my sister, all these people that I may have a hardship with, that I may experience obstacles with, are actually coming in as the role of being my greatest teacher. The moment you choose to reshape your perspective and look at that relationship of how it can be productive, what is the lesson, and how are they your teacher, where are the gifts, is the moment every single negative relationship in your life turns into what you can now experience as the greatest blessing of all. Those people are your teachers. Those people are your blessings. And those people are a part of you, so you can help them and they can help you. That is how we reshape negative relationships into positive ones. That is how we love the people that we've thought that we've hated all our lives because it's been hard. So I invite you to do that. I invite you to look at the people in your life where you have your hardest and toughest relationships with, and find a way to rephrase and reshape your perspective on that relationship. Instead of having hate or dislike towards them, look at them as the role model that they came here to be, as the role that they came here to play, and ask yourself the question, what does that relationship have to teach me? Is it love? Is it compassion? Is it forgiveness? Is it receiving? Is it giving? Whatever it may be, do just that. It all starts with the awareness of looking at your life in a different way. The inspiration of choosing to reshape your perspective, in this case, with relationships. In the next episode of Inspired, I'll be speaking all about the topic of stillness, the topic of presence. How do we find presence and stillness in times of chaos? Like what's going on around me right now? That's how we do it. It's a lot easier than you may think to find that stillness and that presence whenever everything seems chaotic. I'll see you on the next episode of Inspired.
Subscribe.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. There's so much more I'd like to dive into, but unfortunately, we can't do that here thanks to the heavy censorship efforts from big tech. If you want to explore this topic further, you can dive deep by accessing our entire uncensored library on Unifyd.tv. There's a link in the description below this video if you want to check it out. A membership to Unifyd TV gives you unlimited access to hundreds of uncensored podcasts, investigative journalism, documentaries, films, and content that was once available on major streaming platforms like Netflix, but is now banned from the internet. For just $14.99 a month, which is less than $1 a day, you get access to it all. Your subscription also helps keep the platform running free from censorship and corporate influence. Please consider supporting us and enjoy all of our unfiltered and thought-provoking content in return. Thank you very much, and I will see you on Unifyd TV.